If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
When it comes to talking about the game, how do you not talk about Joe Burrow as much as we've been talking about him? Of course we're going to do it. The guy is from the state of Ohio. The guy went to the Ohio State University and was told there was no room for him there by Urban Meyer.
He also has a leadership gene in him that's extraordinary. And
So
I
do
think
I.
his offensive line loves him. And it's that
I
great
can't tell
quality.
they love him the way they let him get
I'm
beat
just
up.
saying, well, I just don't know if they're good enough. That's the point. But I think they fight their asses off.
They
for
do.
him.
I do.
Okay,
They do.
Joe Burrow had to go elsewhere, okay? He says he's still a Buckeye because he got his degree there, and that's great. He's from the state of Ohio. He's totally should feel that way. And he's also an LSU Tiger because it was thanks to them he was afforded the opportunity to do what he's become, which is the most meteoric rise, period.
He's got the 3 C's: calm, cool, and confidence. Right? He's calm in the pocket. He gets hit 51 times. He got sacked 51 times this year, Greg. First person to lead the league in getting sacked and make it the Super Bowl. Certainly got the confidence. Down 11 to the Chiefs twice. Felt like they had the momentum, though. I don't know, in this Super Bowl, they could be down 21. I'd be like, look over at the sidelines, still be confident in Joe Burrow.
Tom Brady was 199th overall, and that's been pushed back about Joe Burrow because he was number 1 overall. Well, he wasn't number 1 overall since the minute he came from Athens, Ohio. He made himself the number 1 overall pick. What he did in LSU, 60 touchdown passes.
When did you notice, though, that he had it?
You know, so funny. Joe comes down and he tells me, say, Coach, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear your recruiting game. I know you're a great recruiter. I don't need to hear it. I just want to talk football and eat crawfish. I said, okay. I was kind of frustrated, to be honest with you. I couldn't get my claws on him, man. Every time I was trying to get him, no. He won't talk. Hey, I never had a recruit that didn't want to talk to the head coach. So we have a football meeting, and we had set up some plays that he had ran at Ohio State, some plays that we're going to run. His dad was in the meeting, Steve Ensminger, who did a great job, offensive coordinator. Jordan Munoz made the deal. Jerry Sullivan, 74 years old, had been in the NFL for years. I'm in there. And all of a sudden, we start watching the film. I start asking Joe questions. And I figured out immediately that Joe was the smartest person in that room, including me, including all the coaches. And I was happy about it. And that showed me his football intelligence, what I saw in that meeting. Yeah. And that's what you see today.
Joe Burrow, measurables, not that crazy, right? But he just has it. Whatever it is, he has it. It makes everybody around him better. How would you, a future Hall of Famer, one of the best that's ever done it, how would you define that it that Joe Burrow has?
Yeah, so a lot of intangibles. There's a presence about him. I think when he steps in a room, I think everybody, you can just watch the way everyone reacts to him. I think it brings out the best in them. It makes them want to be the best version of themselves for him. I think they have a lot of belief in him. They understand that within the framework of the locker room or the offense, like this guy gives them the best chance to win at any moment, and they're never out of it, right? And a lot of it's his poise and this calm, cool demeanor and this composure and this confidence. But it's funny. I had a chance to talk to him last week. That's going to be part of the broadcast on Sunday. But I asked him what kind of gave him that confidence and that belief. And he said, being in a lot of competitive situations as a kid, playing a bunch of different sports and just having that exposure. Obviously, he loves sports, but I think he's used to being in those situations and he's used to finding ways to win.
Especially throughout the playoffs, 2-minute drives, playing tough, getting sacked 9 times in one game, but just hanging in there, not causing you to force a throw or throw it too early. And so he just kind of has that it factor that he steps up and makes critical plays and great plays at the right time.
And then pointing to his ring finger, put one on there, and smoking a cigar. And Odell Beckham's handing out cash, and it's wild.
Awesome.
It was wild.
It was awesome.
And then he becomes number one overall, especially when we were all focused on Tua the entire time.
Yep.
And then he gets into the league, and he's number one overall, and the first chance that he gets to try and show what he can do, he gets his ass beaten over and over and over again until he's literally broken. His knee gets torn up. And the Bengals are the franchise where you go, well, that's the most Cincinnati thing, isn't it? That he comes to Cincinnati, and you can't even get a year out of him to try and get him acclimated, which is what the idea is. You need your guys to get reps in order to have them blossom into what you hope they become. And even with all of that, he blossoms into what they hoped he would become in year one.
I was impressed with Joe last year, just having him, watching him play. He was a rookie. There's a couple games where he's throwing it 30, 40, 50 times a game. He's got a bad offensive line last year, but he was still, a lot of completions. He was scrambling at times. He was buying time. He wasn't throwing a lot of interceptions. He wasn't making a lot of mistakes and forcing things. And so I thought he played great last year.
To be sacked 9 times against the Tennessee Titans, find a way to win. To be down 21-3 against the Kansas City Chiefs and find a way to win shows you what type of mettle this young team truly has. And I believe they complete the deal this week, and it is going to be the greatest and quickest turnaround in NFL history.
I'm talking about the poise, the command of the position, the gift for playing it, because it takes a gift to remain that cool under fire, to speed read and find consistently the most open receiver in 2 seconds and deliver an above average velocity pass that it almost catches you. It's thrown so sweetly, it hits you right where it's supposed to. You caught 1 billion passes. And it almost like catches you where you just say, well, I can't not catch that pass because it's saying catch me. It has catch me written all over it. That's the Brady trait that this kid has.
And then in year 2, he's arrived. And Brady goes out the door. So, of course, we in the media are all wondering about who's next.
He wins because he's cool, because he's not going to be flustered. No matter what happens, he's going to be relaxed. He's going to be chill. He's going to say, you know what? We've got this. And I think that attitude has permeated the whole Cincinnati Bengals team, that they think they've got a chance. And just like Brady went in and beat the heavily favored Rams, I think Joe Burrow is going to do the same thing. And people are going to say even more that him and Brady are just like this, 2 peas in a pod.
Can Burrow be next? In the rest of our days, we will be wondering about young kids coming out of college, coming into the NFL, and can they do what Joe Burrow is doing? Now, we will forget about it and not say that if the Rams win.
And the thing that makes them so tough, Skip, they've been down in 2 of the 3 last games, and they've come back and won these things in dramatic fashion. So they're not gonna go away and say, oh, they were down 18 to a team that just represented the AFC in the Super Bowl just the year before and won it the year before that. And they got Patrick Mahomes, who by all indications is a top 3 quarterback currently playing today. So don't think that they're going to go away. You get up a 10, you get up a touchdown, you get up 10 points, because they won't fold.
And that's what we're talking about this week. I'm not hyping it up, saying that he is this. I'm saying that on Sunday, when rings are handed out, not physically, but, figuratively, when a trophy is handed out, when confetti is picked out of hair, will Joe Burrow be the guy that we talk about for years to come? Or can he be the next Dan Marino? Got there soon and then didn't get it again. That's what we're talking about.
You don't see young quarterbacks kind of their first time in the playoffs going in there and winning one playoff game, let alone multiple, just because it is different. You're playing against better teams, and everybody's, up to the challenge. And so, my first one, my second year, we went 11-5. We won the NFC East, and we get to the playoffs, and we get blown out by Carolina, and so I threw a bunch of interceptions, and it was just a terrible game. It took Peyton was in the playoffs a number of times. Matthew Stafford, like a lot of good quarterbacks, that first playoff experience, they don't do great. And here's Joe Burrow in his second year winning 3 playoff games on the road, and I think the fact that he has kind of gone through a playoff scenario in college, and what he did at LSU, I think that does help. I mean, you had to go and beat some teams. You had to play in an SEC championship. You had to go on the road. You had to, and kind of go through that playoff scenario. I think gives you a little bit more experience to handle this and makes him more prepared.
And I'm not saying he's the next Brady, but we're all wondering who can catch Tom Brady. You know who can catch Tom Brady one day? If that's at all possible, it's somebody who's done what Joe Burrow has put himself in the position to do. That's all I'm saying.
Joe Burrow is not afraid.
No.
Joe Burrow, most quarterbacks that I have covered and studied over the years have what I call the haywire gene, where they'll just unravel. If you sack them 4 or 5 times, if they throw an early pick, they will come unglued psychologically.
Right.
I just don't think this kid is made that way.
No, I don't either. I think he's made of the right stuff.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.